Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranch, and today I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for some of the early prelim. I don't know if they're early, but some of the prelim fights for UFC Vegas 19. Okay, last week I didn't do so hot. I went 5-5 overall. I'm not going to spend too much recapping, but I will pull it just to, I'm not very happy with 5-5. Macy Barber, she lost. I got Kamaru Usman right, but I said by decision he knocked Burns out, Andre Ewell messed that one up. I'm not going to say the winners. Rodolfo Vieira. Whoever picked Fluffy, good on you. I should have, you know what? I had a feeling at the weigh-ins, because at the weigh-ins he looked kind of drained, and look what happened. He gassed out, put everything he had. He was tired the first period. The first round, I mean. He was tired the first round, so yeah, I saw that in the weigh-ins. I kind of saw he was looking, should have went with my gut. But I made the bet way ahead of time, so I was going with it. What else? Oh, Maki Pitolo. He got, what a heartbreaker. He went all the way to the third round, winning every round. All he had to do was hold out for 40 more seconds, but he didn't. Julian Marquez got the Dars choke submission. Here's a full green sheet, but that doesn't count because I changed. This was remember the hedge bet, because originally I take Chris Gutierrez over Andre Ewell, Polyana Viana, and Bilal Muhammad. That I hit that parlay because I made that early, but then I told you I changed the Andre Ewell bet, so that's the one I'm going with. The wrong pick, because I said after my second look video, I said these are my final pick. This is my final answer. So yeah, and Brian Kelleher, yeah, he lost by decision too. So anyway, 5-5, not the worst, but could have done better, of course. But hey, at least I'm being completely transparent, not saying I won everything, because I didn't. But this time I will. This Vegas 19, yeah, I'm on it. All right, let's go. I'm going to start out with bantamweight down here with Aiemann Zahabi taking on Drako Rodriguez. Now, if you're new to my channel, what I do is I take my favorite sports handicappers and I take their free picks off YouTube or the internet, and I place them side by side depending on who they pick. And then after I put all their picks in, I make my pick, and I try to give a brief explanation of why I'm taking that. And it's usually I got influenced by one of these cappers. All the cappers I do put on my show, I am a fan of, otherwise they wouldn't be on my show, and their link to their picks will be in my description, so you can be sure to check them out, subscribe to their stuff. All right, I have to keep saying that till I get 500 subscribers, and I'm at like 470 something. So till I need 25 more subscribers, and I can stop doing the, if you're new to my show, I can cut that right out. That'll save a whole minute of airtime. All right. Aiemann Zahabi, that's Faraz Zahabi's brother. He's the legendary coach from TriStar up in Canada. He comes in with a record of 7-2, Aiemann Zahabi does. His last fight was a loss to Vince Morales by unanimous decision. And he's taking on Drako Rodriguez. Drako Rodriguez is making his UFC debut. He's from the Contender Series, where he's coming off that win against Mana Martinez. She did a triangle choke submission. So as a professional, I think what was his? I didn't write it down, but his before he was in the Contender Series, he was in some regional thing. But as a professional, he is 7-1. He's the favorite here at -175. Zahabi's the underdog at +150. That's it's a pretty decent payout for Firas Zahabi's brother. That's forever. He's going to be known as just Firas Zahabi's brother, unless he starts winning. Okay, I looked at his past records, and the people he did beat were kind of cans. Rodriguez making his debut, so I could say the same for him. They don't have any, spectacular past opponents or anything. But anyway, here we go. We're going to start with Drako, the great Dracolini. He fights out of One Combat Academy in Sioux City, Iowa. Taking him, we've got the professional. That's why I like to call him. I don't think he even calls himself that, but I call James Lynch the professional. He's saying Drako by decision. James Lynch he does work for odds.com, and he has probably the most fighter interviews of all of YouTube, except for John Hyun Ko. John Hyun Ko, who I'll mention when I get to this fight, he has a ton of interviews too, but he doesn't make predictions. He's completely unbiased, which is good. James Lynch, he does do the predictions. He is unbiased because he has predicted against people that he's interviewed, and they've even called upon it, like, "Hey man, why you picking that other guy again?" But he's authentic. Yeah, I like that. Also taking Drako Rodriguez, we've got my buddy Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics, the Bulgarian Cowboy. Today he was doing that fantasy matchup thing where he goes through and he actually saw on my way home. He was live, so I was on my phone, so I was driving, so I really couldn't get into it. But he's like, "Capper, call a fight, we'll do it for the Trunesta." I think it's called Trunesta, his little thing. But so I said, okay, these are fantasy fights. I said Petroyan versus Aljamain Sterling. That would be a great fight. But anyway, he said, "Okay, we'll do it." But then by the time he got done running, what he was doing, like Korean Zombie versus Oliveira. But anyway, he does this thing pretty much on our East Coast time. It's roughly around 3 to 4 o'clock something. His time, it's like 9 o'clock at night. But anyway, it's fun. Check him out. The link to one of these fights will be in the description. Moving on, we've got MMA Guru. He's got the knit cap from the UK. The Guru is saying knockout in the first round for Drako. Or is it, well, not Dark, Drako. KO in the first. I like his picks. They're very, calls the round, calls the method. Okay, then we've got a new guy to the show. I met him during Vlad's UFC Celebrities and Classics watch along on Saturday through UFC 258. I watched him with Vlad, and this guy was on the channel, and he turns up he does handicap, and he does well. He's got an accent. I want to say it's like French or something. I don't really know, and I listened to him in the car. So, but anyway, I don't even know if I can say his name right. It's called Schroeder MMA Bet. Schroeder MMA Bet. His link will be in the description. Definitely check him out. He's a good capper. We're because I was putting up my picks and the odds, my actual in the chat, and he was like, "Oh, you're getting good value. Too bad they didn't pan out." Well, 5 of them did, but with live betting, he's fun. He's fun to watch the games or watch the fights with. Anyway, what was his method of victory? He said Drako by TKO. He also does the 5-star system where he ranks striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu, cardio, the whole, pretty much now a lot of these cappers are doing the side-by-side 5-star system comparison that they make their own, like him, MMA gambling expert, he does it too. A lot of these guys. And I like it. I like the 5-star system. In this fight, he obviously has Drako Rodriguez win. And finally, the 5th capper to make it a full, it is not a full cap consensus because this guy, he's taking Aiemann Zahabi.
What about me?
Huh? You're a little late to the show, Nora. His name is It's Your Boy eBay's fight predictions. Predictions. Say the right word. Predictions. eBay's fight predictions. He is saying Aiemann Zahabi by decision. So I wrote it big because he's the only one. All the rest of the cappers are taking the favorite in Drako Rodriguez. I really can't go against that. He seems like, from what I heard from these cappers, Zahabi doesn't have the fight in him because he knows he can fall back on the whole TriStar Corporation. I mean, they own 6 gyms in Quebec, Canada. They got one in Lebanon. They got them all over there for us. And, so Aiemann Zahabi, Aiemann Zahabi doesn't need to, there's no hunger. I mean, yeah, he wants to fight and win, but he could always just go back to running the gym and he's going to be just fine. Whereas in Drako Rodriguez, he doesn't own a gym. He goes to One Combat Academy in Sioux City, Iowa. So I'm taking Drako. Look at these guys. KO, and a decision. I think he's going to knock him out too. I'll say within distance. What?
Unicorn gummy.
Thank you. Within the distance. KO, or I don't know how good his submission game is. Let's say knockout. Hey, maybe Aiemann Zahabi can find some hunger to win, but just looking at him, and I don't see it. So that's just my take, and 4 other people too. 4 out of 5 cappers are taking Rodriguez. He is the favorite. Can't blame him. That's why you have to. If you're taking the favorite, I appreciate it if you give the method. Vlad didn't give the method because he's just slightly leaning Rodriguez. He said very slight. I give very slight edge to Drako Rodriguez. But so he was kind of on the fence. He just leaned with Zahabi. Moving on. Next we have at featherweight, Skelly. The scrapper. Fighting out of, on Tapology it says Team Takedown in Mansfield, Texas. Incorrect. He's fighting out of Sanford MMA now. Gilbert Burns, all them. And that's via James Lynch told me that. He's taking on Jamall Emmers. Jamall Emmers is fighting out of Pinnacle MMA in the Redlands, California. He's got a record of 18-5. Look at these records. Skelly, 18-3, 1 no contest. Very good. 18-5. Very close. However, Jamall Emmers, pretty boy, Jamall Emmers is the favorite here at better than 2-1. Minus 230 favorite here. Skelly is a plus 195 underdog. Chaz Skelly is coming off a win against Jordan Griffin by unanimous decision. Jamall Emmers coming off a win against Vince Cachero. Am I saying it right? Cachero by unanimous decision. Anyway, let's see what these handicappers have to say. Jamall Emmers, Pinnacle MMA. You know who comes out of there? Bobby Green. Pass out and backstage because of weight cut. Bobby Green, that guy. He comes out of Pinnacle MMA. Anyway, let's get this board dirty. Let's see who's taking. Let's start with Jamall, Pretty Boy Emmers. We've got your boy, eBay's fight predictions. He's saying by decision. Then we've got Vlad from Celebrities and Classics, CNC. Then we've got the new guy, Schroeder, MMA bet. He's saying by decision. Links are in the description, guys. Check all these dudes out. MMA Guru, Nick Cap, UK. Very enthusiastic with his picks. He's saying Emmers by decision. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, James Lynch. He interviewed both Chaz Skelly and Jamall Emmers. He interviewed both of them, and he is taking the side of Emmers. Just a little disclosure, James Lynch on his prediction show says these are going with feelings. I did not watch tape. I'm just giving a brief. He kind of like, he doesn't want you to take, I don't know. He's just watch his link. He says he's backing himself up in case he gets the wrong pick. He says they're not, but he's not. He makes these decisions full bias or whatever. But they're unbiased. But I don't know. He goes by just gut feeling and knowledge. Predominant. He doesn't research these picks. He doesn't research. He later on, if he does another set of picks, he may research those. But these specific ones, he said he did not research. Okay. So that's a full capper consensus. Hey, full capper consensus is what, Nor?
When all the handicappers pick one team or one
Fighter.
fighter.
And in this case, all the handicappers are taking Jamall Emmers to beat Chaz Skelly. And 4 out of 5 of those taking Emmers that I have on the show are picking Emmers by decision. So that makes my pick for me. That was pretty easy. I am also taking what?
After your video, you put star with me.
Maybe we'll see what time it is.
Okay.
I am also taking Jamall Emmers. I'm going with the cappers. I'm going to say just by decision. So, yeah, that's no worth. There's no value in taking the over-under because it's at minus 200 for a decision. But it is what it is. I'd rather have crap value than be wrong. And I think Jamall Emmers is going to win it by decision. So, moving on. We've got this one. I like this one. I like this fight. I'll tell you why. We've got at flyweight Shana Danger Dobson with a record of 4-4. A little bit of experience there. She's the underdog at plus 125. And she's taking on new UFC debutante Casey King O'Neill. Taking Bobby Green's nickname, King. Just playing, but that's her nickname, Casey King O'Neill. She is the favorite here at minus 145. She's undefeated as a professional, though, 5-0. The over-under set at 2.5 rounds. The under is the better the great payout at plus 225, over minus 285. So the books, everybody thinks it's going to go to the decision, apparently. So let's go. This is going to be a good one. It comes down to a tiebreaker. Shana Dobson fights out of Elevation Fight Team. Now these are some notes you have to take in to consideration when making your pick here. She fights out of Elevation Fight Team. She is 31 years old. O'Neal, 23. Yeah, young girl. Yep, just 1 year older than Macy Barber, who just... I took loss on that sucker. But anyway, Shana Dobson coming off the win against Maria Agapova by KO ground and pound in the second round. Okay, now my opinions on that. Maria Agapova did win the first round, but she put it all out there. Everything she had, she put it out there in the first round. She did win the first round, but then second round, she had nothing left. Gassed. Shana Dobson took advantage of that and got the KO ground and pound. Okay, at Elevation Fight Team, she is training with the likes. There's some good female fighters over there. We've got Mallory Martin. She just took that first round submission loss to Poliana Viana. That's one of them I won. But there's also Thug Rose Namajunas and Montana De La Rosa, Mark's wife. I mean, Mark's, yeah. Anyway, it's, more like Mark is Montana's husband. It's like that. Because she's the one that's still in the UFC when he is not. Okay. Taking Shana Dobson. We've got celebrities and classics. Vlad. Remember Vlad? We did an interview. I'm going to do something again this weekend with him. I'm not sure what, but I'm going to do something Saturday morning. So tune in for that. It's going to be a live show. I don't know if it's going to be on his channel or my channel. Not sure. But anyway, back to this. Taking Casey O'Neal. We've got James Lynch. He interviewed both women. Okay? And he's on the side of Casey O'Neal. I did not watch his interviews. However, I did watch John Hyun. I thought it was Ko. Yeah, it is Ko. I don't know why I wrote Kim. John Hyun Ko. He has a fighter on fighter interview, which means he interviewed Shana Dobson and asked her bluntly pretty much about her fight coming up against Casey O'Neal. Then he interviewed Casey O'Neal and asked her about her fight against Shana Dobson coming up. And the whole thing is like 8 minutes and something seconds. I don't know. I am putting that link in the description because when I get to the end, I'll explain why that flipped my pick. Okay. Also taking Shana Dobson. We've got the new guy, Schroeder. Schroeder MMA Bet is saying this is his best bet or his biggest bet on the card. I'm going to write best bet. And he's saying TKO for Shana Dobson, round 2 or 3. He did the side-by-side comparison to, I'm just going to put TKO. He did the side-by-side comparison. He says Shana Dobson's much stronger, has better experience, better, faster boxing, and overall the better fighter here. Casey O'Neal, I don't know if he said it, but somebody said that she's kind of unproven because she hasn't fought in the UFC yet. This is her debut. So, yeah, I know the value. I don't know why they got that. Shana Dobson, she likes being the underdog. I think that was her driving force against Maria Agapova. Okay. Also taking Casey O'Neal, we've got MMA Guru. He's saying by decision for O'Neal. He was quick to say that. She's fighting, this is the thing, she fights out of, she's got like a boxing gym, jiu-jitsu gym. They're both in Australia. They're called Christina Stelao, or no, that was her last win. I'm sorry. Her last win was against Christina Stelao by ground and pound. That was in a regional promotion called UAE Warriors. That UAE stands for United Arab Emirates. You know, the country over in the Middle East. Her gyms, Southside MMA, that's her jiu-jitsu gym, and then Matrix Boxing. They're both in Australia. But also, she trains at Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. Phuket. Phuket, Thailand. With the likes of, I don't know, right now nobody's training there because it's closed because of the COVID. But Valentina Shevchenko, Petroyan, a lot of those European fighters are from Tiger Muay Thai. But because that's closed, James Lynch said she's been training over at Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas, which is pretty cool because they have they got a bunch of them. Emily Whitmire, Roxanne Modafferi, I think, is out of there. This is all by memory. I didn't check it out. But anyway, what? Here's the deal. For the tiebreaker, we got, it's your boy, Ebays. Ebays is taking Casey O'Neal by decision. All right. Now, my pick. This is all day. I was all over. After listening to Soder and his best bet and the breakdown, the side-by-side thing, I was all about Dobson. I'm like, she's got more veteran experience. She physically looks stronger. But what changed my mind on the way home, it's an hour commute, both to and from work for me. So that's a lot of, and it's all throughway. After 15 minutes of driving through Albany, I hit the throughway, and it's like 40 minutes of all throughway driving, hit cruise control, and that's when I listen to these things. But I was listening to that Fighter on Fighter interview, and in that interview, John Hyun Ko, I'm sorry, John Hyun Ko, he's doing the interview, and Shana Dobson, he's like, so what is your path, like, kind of, I don't forget the exact wording, but he said something like, what do you plan on doing? What's your path to victory? He said it in a roundabout way, and she's like, oh, well, I think I just want to keep my momentum going and see where the fight takes me. I think it's amateurish to say I'm going to go and knock her out. That was an amateur move or something like that, okay? And I was like, all right, it's James Dobson. Bye-bye. And she was like, I think I've fought the, much better fighters, and she's fought UFC, but she's lost 4 times, so she must have, I've lost to better fighters than her. I mean, but then Casey O'Neal, she comes on her interview, and she, for a second I had to double take it. That's how I'm driving. Like, does she got a shirt on? She had like a low cut, or a sleeveless shirt or something, maybe a tank top, I don't know. But then she had her knee up, and it looked like she was almost interviewing nude, but she does have something on. But anyway, Casey O'Neal, she was like, she broke it right down. She's like, you know why Maria Agapova lost? Because she's got like a slight Australian accent. She's like, because she didn't know how to use her energy right. She spent all her energy the first round that she won. She's like, I'm going to do that. What Maria Agapova did the first round, I'm going to do that every single round in a row. And it's not going to go to every round. I'm going to knock her. I'm going to finish her. She didn't say knockout. She said finish. I'm going to finish her. That's how I intend to fight everybody. And then John Hyun Ko was like, are there any names you look forward to fighting or anything like that? She's like, long as I get 4 fights a year, I don't care who it is. You can put ranked, unranked. It doesn't matter. Just put them up there and I'll fight them. I'm ready. And she seemed more ready. She seemed more hungry, more aggressive. I liked the interview. The interview is what definitely changed my mind. That's why, even though he's not a predictor, John Hyun Ko, is it Ko? I think it's Ko. John Hyun Ko. I am definitely putting the link in the description because I want you guys to spend 8 minutes checking out the interviews, and I think you'll be on the same side I am. The interviews, Casey O'Neill came out on top. Like she seemed more convincing. It seemed like I don't know, I got her. Watch the interviews and you'll see why. So I'm taking Casey O'Neill, and I'm going to take her within distance. I don't think it's going to go to decision. I think she's going to bring it to Shana Dobson. Shana Dobson didn't look like she's ready. She don't even know. She thinks she's gonna mess around for 3 rounds and get points, and like, I don't know how she planned. Her path to victory is to outpoint her for 3 rounds with the boxing, which Shana Dobson probably does have better stand-up boxing, but this girl, Casey O'Neill, she's young, she's hungry, and she is well-rounded, and she's training at Syndicate MMA. Dobson, Elevation Fight Team. So they're both coming from good camps with good female fighters in those camps as training partners. Man, I gotta take O'Neill, and I'm gonna take her within distance. I think she's gonna take it to her. But female fights, so hard to predict. But anyway, that's my pick. So to recap, time check. To recap. Oh, pumpkin. Okay, to recap, I have Drako, the great Dracolini Rodriguez, winning within distance. He's going to knock out Aiemann Zahabi, send him back to TriStar, work with his brother. You know, he can do that. And then I've got Jamall Emmers beating Skelly. I don't know, though. That's a tough... I like that plus money. Skelly's got a nice record. A touch better than Jamall Emmers, too. He's got less losses. I don't know. I might to... But all the cappers are going with Emmers by decision. So for this video, I am saying also I'm taking Jamall Emmers by decision. My least confident pick on this show. And finally, I'm taking, because of the interview from John Hyun Ko, Kumite Fight Podcast or something like that, I'm taking Casey King O'Neill, even though I hate her name, her nickname, King. That's Bobby King Green. And King, that's, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Casey O'Neill, I think she's going to get it done within distance because of that interview. She seemed hungrier. Seemed like she wanted more. She's ready to fight anybody, anytime, pretty much. And she wasn't saying it like boastfully like Macy Barber does. She was, being cool about it. Relax. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place the bets and cash the tickets. And cash the tickets. All right, relax. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done that. Comment any opinions or anything like that. Good luck on these bets, and I will see you next episode.